This is Hussein Amin, the director of the Kamal Adham Center for Television and Digital Journalism in the School of Global Affairs and Public Policy at the American University in Cairo. I am the principal investigator of the UNESCO AUC project that is titled Disinformation at the Time of Crisis. I will briefly address the Kamal Adham Center for Television and Digital Journalism most recent collaborative project with the UNESCO, which sought to unpack the issue of disinformation and misinformation at the time of COVID-19 and to offer recommendations of the best practices to combat this threat. As we all know, COVID-19 has taken the world by surprise, imposing critical challenges that completely changed life as we know it. The situation was also triggered by additional threat of an information disorder, which came to be called an infomedic. At such critical times, circulating true and verified information becomes a necessity and a great responsibility. Assuming our share of this responsibility in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Kamal Adham Center for Television and Digital Journalism in the American University in Cairo is proud to have partnered with the United Nations represented in the UNESCO, the World Health Organization, and the United Nations Information Center in Cairo in order to address the critical issues of disinformation at the time of crisis. Under our joint project, a series of 8 webinars were organized during the fall of 2020, hosting 41 of the most professional media and health communication experts in the Arab region. The esteemed experts discussed rebuilding trust in the media, second, comparing the infodemic by international institutions and social media platforms, third, they discussed ensuring a journalist's safety, which is very important. Additionally, the webinars sought to provide a general knowledge about A, the confused terminologies such as disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. B, patterns of misleading content and basics of fact-checking. And C, media literacy, through which we can create a state of media education to deal with the issues of the pandemic. The first webinar session included opening speeches by Francis Richardoni, the president of the American University in Cairo, by Richard Dactis, the UN resident coordinator in Egypt, and Dr. Bishr Imam, officer in charge, on behalf of Dr. Ghait Faris, the director of the UNESCO Regional Bureau for Sciences in the Arab world, and Ahmed Al-Mandari, the WHO Regional Director for the Eastern Mediterranean. The webinars, which were simultaneously interpreted into English and French, were attended by over 900 participants from all around the world, including students, journalists, media professionals, researchers, and government representatives. Each session was followed by a discussion that allowed the audience to interact with the speakers and to raise their inquiries, comments, and opinions. The speakers included media professionals and academics from Egypt, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Lebanon, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia, as well as representatives from widely followed platforms such as Twitter and the BBC. Academics participated in the webinars are mainly faculty members and lecturers from reputable universities such as the Middle East University in Jordan, Kuwait University in Kuwait, Cairo University in Egypt, King Abdulaziz University in Saudi Arabia, Emirates College of Technology in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, University of Sharjah in United Arab Emirates, and Örebro University in Sweden. Representatives from the UN institutions such as the WHO and the UN Department of Global Communications also provided medical facts about the pandemic and shared their constant efforts to combat misinformation. Arab League Assistant Secretary General for Media Sector and Communications, Dr. Qais Al-Azzawi, and former Minister of Communications and Information Technology in Egypt, Dr. Majid Osman, participated in the closing webinar, which set out to develop a standard media action plan in response to the pandemic. The knowledge and the recommendations shared during the webinars have been accumulated in a report that is being published in English and in Arabic on the UNESCO website. Among the many insights, this project allowed us to draw valuable lessons from the COVID-19 experience, such as how the best way to respond to COVID-19, as articulated by media experts, how media literacy enables individuals and groups to receive facts, news stories, and information critically. Also, the experts addressed how realities of the media profession today have greatly contributed to the problem. In addition, how the information disorder is only removable by a strong, independent, professional, and transparent media system that ensures trust in the media and neglect inaccurate sources. On the brighter side, the expert discussed first how the pandemic has spurred many countries around the world to push forward their digital transformation and all operationalizations plans. Second, how the data and scientific journalism have flourished. Third, means by which social media platforms are better equipped and more motivated to eradicate misinformation. And finally, I want to shed some light on the impact of some initiatives that were highlighted during the project as examples of the positive responses to the COVID-19 infodemic, such as, first, the WHO infodemic strategy. Second, The UN issued health verified initiatives that aims to save lives and provide reliable scientific information. Third, the UNESCO's awareness focused content production. And fourth, efforts by the technology companies such as Google, Facebook, and Twitter in combating misinformation and disinformation. Quoting the AUC President Francis Ricciardone during the first session of the project, circulating and verifying information at times of crisis is shared responsibility by academics and major international institutions and organizations. This notion has been the driving mission behind the fruitful and collaborative project between our university, the AUC, the WHO, the UNESCO, and the UNIC, at the time where disinformation has come to threaten our lives, maybe as much as the virus itself. I look forward to more of such strong collaborations with the United Nations' different constituencies, as together we can confront pressing media issues and provide rich platform for capacity building, as well as establish a constructive dialogue and policy recommendations. Thank you.